Today we are going to be discussing all the reasons why charcoal kilns are one of the best, if not the best money makers in Manor Lords. Now, do you guys remember when we discussed that rich iron deposits were the best money makers in the game? Well, I don't remember either, but you can check it out here in the top right hand corner. As for today, we are going to be talking about coal and all the reasons. So, let's start out. I'm going to showcase two villages, two small, tiny villages that we built in Manor Lords that literally got built upon the backbone of charcoal kilns and how charcoal made one of the most profitable incomes for the entire village and the entire region. So, first of all, let's start out with the development tree. So the first reason why charcoal is so good is because as soon as you start your village, you lay down the first 5 burgage plots. All you have to do is spend 1. You don't have to spend 3, you don't have to spend 5. You only have to spend 1 development point to unlock the charcoal kiln, which is going to provide you with 2 charcoal per firewood. Now, the reason why this is so overpowered and it is so good for your village is because all this charcoal kiln is doing is you can put in 1 family, you can put down even 3. It is better to have 3 families in 3 charcoal kilns than 3 families in 1 charcoal kiln, and I'm going to tell you the reason why very soon. But all in all, for 1 development point, you are literally turning 1 groschen, 1 firewood groschen into 5 per charcoal. But you are making 2 charcoal, so you are actually turning 1 firewood into 2 charcoal, which is 1 groschen into 10 groschen. And the reason being that if we look at the trade and if we look at the most profitable exports, you will see that charcoal is pretty much on top with, of course, iron parts, but we are going to go into iron mining in another video. So, staying at charcoal. So, we are going to go through the entire pipeline. Let me showcase it. So, we have 1 woodcutter's lodge with 3 families in it. Then, we have 3 charcoal kilns. Of course, you can scale this. You can make it much bigger. You can make much more charcoal. And let me just show you this. I think I've ran this for almost 2 years. And we have 1.2k firewood and 2.6k charcoal. Now, the way you do this is you run a woodcutter's lodge and you run 3 charcoal kilns with 1 family in each. And the reason being that 1 charcoal kiln can be run with 1 family if the supply is close by. So you can see that all 3 of the kilns are pumping out charcoal as we speak. So the pipeline is you have a woodcutter's lodge, you have 3 charcoal kilns, and you have 2 large storehouses. Now the 2 large storehouses are going to be operating as such. You are going to have 1 large storehouse which cannot have a market stall setup in your village. And the reason being, you don't want your villagers to use up the firewood. And second, you want another large storehouse close to the trading hub that you set up, like the trade outposts. And then you are going to put as many families on this to be able to just feed the generic storage of your large storehouse. So then you are going to set up an export. That's the easy part, right? You're going to set up a dedicated export and you are going to say, well, from now on, you are going to export as much charcoal as possible. And the reason why this is so good is because when you're very early in your village's development, you need a lot of money to be able to get to where you want to go. Now, whether you have a village that can use fertile land, or you just have a village just like mine, which is situated on a land that is not very fertile, and you have to import food or you have to import quite a lot of things, especially with a tiny village challenge that we've been doing. The 2 villages that I've set up, the one is a 30 burgage plot one and the other one is a 10 one. So we have 10 houses. Our challenge was to limit ourselves to 10 houses. And I will showcase you how charcoal literally just drove our economy up and up. And we won the entire game just by playing with 10 houses, or let's say 30 in this case. But before we move on to the 10 house village, this village pretty much started the charcoal kilns kind of late into the gameplay. So the last 2 points in our development were literally the charcoal burning and the deep mining. And we got kind of really late into it. But even then, if you look at the entire setup, and let's say the past 4-5 years in game, you can see on the trade that out of all the 13 years that we've been exporting all time, we made the most in charcoal. Now, the only thing surpassing in profits is of course iron parts that we've been doing. But if you're limited in your villagers, the best thing to do is to go for the charcoal, because the chain of supply that it takes you to get to the charcoal kiln, and this is, I don't know, the third, the fourth reason, you name it, you can build charcoals wherever you want in your region. It doesn't have to be a rich deposit. So, of course, in this case, I have a rich iron deposit, and iron will make you long-term a lot more money. But tier for tier, for development point, charcoal is going to be so much better if you're trying to spend, I don't know, maybe the deep mining point somewhere else, or you're doing like an agricultural run, like a farming build, okay? Because in that case, you all only have to set in 1 point, and the rest 5 you can put wherever you want. Whereas deep mining, you might also want, I don't know, basic armor making, or chainmail, or maybe even plate armor. But with our setup, the way I did it, I had a trade logistics, the better deals, the charcoal, and boom, the deep mining for this region. But the thing is that if you set this up, no matter in which province you have it within the region, it will make so much income early on, especially in your village. And you can set up tiny little villages and just work yourself up in the ranks with importing, I don't know, weapons, buying mercenaries, and hosting everything. So from that point of view, and let me just fix this. Now we can see it. From that point of view, you are going to be sitting on such a good portion of regional wealth and also treasury that literally charcoal is going to run your entire village. Now, of course, this isn't going to be the lands of Mordor, and this isn't that game. But the good part is that overall, if you set up even just 1 or 2 charcoal kilns, this is going to work out perfectly. And that is, even in a small village, it can work out. And that leads us to the, I don't know, 5th, 6th, 4th reason why charcoal kilns are really good. All right, so let me showcase you a small 10 burgage tiny village that we won the game with, by the way, the other day on stream. So in this entire village, I have 2 charcoal kilns and 1 woodcutter's lodge with 2 people on it. And that's not necessarily the most important thing that you need to take from this. Of course, you can run even bigger villages with this economic setup. And not only that, of course, we do have another rich iron deposit here, and we do rely on other stuff for our economy. But going beyond that, if we look at the trade, you are going to see that our most profitable income came from charcoal itself. It surpassed tools, it surpassed iron, it surpassed much of the things that you could ever export. And the reason being, it is simple. It is the 10-to-1 ratio that you are investing into. So you have 1 firewood that is being literally turned into 2 charcoal that you are exporting as 10 groschen in total. So 10 groschen, if you look at every month's export, you can see that we are selling 34 pieces of charcoal, and then we have 136 groschen made. And the best part is that even if the regional supply is going to be overflowed and you are going to lower the price in charcoal, one of the best things that is going to happen is that you will still have, it will still be profitable. So no matter how you look at it, of course, in time, it might be more profitable to export other things. But if you look at this, we have two families. We have invested such a little amount of families into this entire pipeline that if you would want to set up any other thing, the chain of supply to get charcoal is the simplest you could ever have. And that's, I think, the fifth or sixth reason why this is really good. So if we look at the chain of supply, you have charcoal, which is one family, and then you have charcoal kilns, which could be your second family. It is this simple to get started. All you're required is one development point. Whereas if you want to do something even more profitable, yes, you could. But the thing is, if you want iron working, if you want iron mining and you want to make stuff made out of iron, your entire chain of supply is going to be the woodcutter's lodge. You do need firewood because you are going to need them for the bloomery and the smithy. You know, you need at least a second family to mine. You need a third family for the bloomery, and then a fourth family for the smithy. Now, you are going to have a total of 4 families at least to make it somewhat profitable, right? And then, if you turn any house into a blacksmith's workshop, the thing is that you're going to lose at least 2 families if it's not a duplex. In total of 4 families once fully upgraded if you have a duplex burgage. So you're losing up to 8 families just to set up the profits for, I don't know, iron mining. Don't you get me started with farms, with anything other. The fact that so many other things rely on finite resources. So you need fertile land, which you have to spawn in the right province, or you need a rich iron deposit, which not every province has, and so on and so forth. And with that, I think we are coming to somewhat a conclusion in the game. And with that, guys, I want to ask you one question. What do you usually base your economy on? What do you think, or what do you use to make most of your income and money within Manor Lords? And are you curious to find out what are the most profitable things in a large city? Tomorrow we are going to start out one of my personal challenges, which is going to be to build an entire river capital city in Manor Lords and try and reach 10 million groschen wealth. So if you want to stay tuned in, all you have to do is subscribe, like, leave your comment down below about my question. I am very interested to see what you guys usually use as your trading bread and butter. And I will see you tomorrow on stream.